G'day Bomber fans! I know it's only been a week since we last looked at our list and the changes that are being made, but almost instantly after that video was uploaded there were some updates. Although not all from a delisting point of view, we have signed up some youngsters. There are some rumours about potential delistings, so I'm going to tell you a bit more about our list. Alright, so obviously the big news since my last video on our squad is Darcy Parish signing a brand new contract. I think 90% of the fan base was delighted by this news. 10% probably wanted to see him go, but I think it's great. He clearly wanted to stay, clearly loves the club. Other players wouldn't stick around for contract talks that drag out that long, and there was clearly tension. Scott Lucas, his manager, went on the record to say we leaked the details of the contract before it was signed, which is wild. After that happened, I thought talks would break down, but thankfully they didn't, and it seems like Parish's party was the one that budged, at least on the length standpoint. It's a 5-year contract. He wanted 6 years. He also wanted some more money, but we don't know about those details. It's hard to say. Regardless, I am pleased. It's a great thing to lock up elite clearance mids for life. He is a Bomber for life now. Other signing news, Bryan. This is great. We all obviously know there was trade talk, more so in the first half of the year when he wasn't getting a game. He has put pen to paper on a 2-year deal that will see him hopefully cement his place in the first team by then. Rucks take a little bit longer to develop, obviously. We do still need another ruckman, an experienced one, I'd say. We aren't actively linked yet. I wouldn't mind seeing us pick up for example, a Scott Lycett or someone around that age bracket for a few seasons. Maybe a bit cheaper than Lycett though, but Bryan for 2 years, that's good news. And the last signing, Harry Jones, he has signed on for 1 more season. That shows his place in the team is nowhere near cemented. He needs to perform next year for sure. If you are that young, signing 1-year contracts, it says a lot about your place in the team. I personally think he is a first team player eventually, but his body is just letting him down consistently. His development has been halted since 2021. If he is earning a 1-year contract, I think we can expect to see the same from our other players that we are yet to sign, bar Menzies. I think Menzies is due a multi-year deal after the season he has had. I will get to that now though, go through some of the out-of-contract players like I did last week, because there have been some changes. So here are our out-of-contract players. I have Anthony Mankara down here as well, because there is a bit to this. So Cal Toomey has said on the record that Mankara probably won't be at Essendon next season. That is disappointing. I don't actually know what his contract is. I think he is contracted till next season, but I could definitely be wrong. But as we know, even if he is there till next year, it's irrelevant after what we saw with James Stewart, who was his career was cut short with us by a year, even though he was contracted until 2024. Mankara is insanely talented. We saw heaps of glimpses of that, but it's all we saw. He didn't really progress all that much throughout the year. We saw lots of little glimpses of his elite talent, but he clearly struggles in an AFL system and with his fitness, so it's tough. On one hand, you have a project player who could be anything down the track. On the other hand, you have a club trying to build a strong culture and list now, so we will see what happens here. Brendan Zerk-Thatcher is yet to make an official request for a trade. He has both South Australian clubs interested in him, not just Port Adelaide, but Adelaide as well. I believe he is returning home and making a decision there, so there's still a bit to play out. He could well be with us next year. We have a multi-year contract on the table waiting for him to sign, but most who I've seen speak about this situation believe he is destined to request a trade back home. The same was said about Himmelberg though. He was out the door till he signed, so you never know. We wait until official word and official request, and even then a deal still has to get done, so there's a lot to play out. There is a bit of rival interest in Kane Baldwin. There is clearly some potential with him. Clubs don't really know how much, including us. He hasn't signed yet, and that to me says it all. Anyone who hasn't been offered a contract is in trouble this late in the year. They won't receive one until later in the season or in the off-season, because we will work around the incoming players. So Baldwin, D'Ambrosio, Hunter, Snelling, Voss, they are all under a little uncertain cloud. It's hard to know what will happen with them. We have already seen 6 list changes, 4 delistings, 2 retirements. I think we see 10 by the end of the year. There are some players down there that I really don't know about. Hunter and Voss, I doubt both sign. Both might get delisted, in fact, I wouldn't be surprised. Of that list, aside from Menzies and BZT, who have offers in front of them, the only players I really want to stay here are, it's really just Massimo. I think he probably has the most upside here. It's why there are clubs looking at him as well. Baldwin, I wouldn't mind a 1-year deal there. After that, I could see them all being delisted and us hitting the trade period and draft hard. That's the way I see this going. It's being teased as well by Scott and co. So that's all. Another really quick little update in case you guys missed out. Let me know down below what videos you want to see. I will be doing lots of draft and trade content, because that is what I know the most about. I am a draft and trade nerd. So also a little shout out. Keep an eye on Absolutely Essendon. There may or may not be something going on over there in the not too distant future. So stay tuned for that. Cheers for watching though, Dons fans.